How important is that to get a little good feeling like you got last night?
When you're not performing well in something like that, it's all about a feeling. You lose your mojo, and I've used that word quite a bit, but you do. You press, you do some silly, crazy things, and so having a couple goals last night should help. But that said, this penalty kill you go up against tomorrow night is extremely aggressive. Obviously, lots of experience and a whole nother different challenge. So, it's a good feeling yesterday, but it'll be a totally different setup tomorrow that we'll have to make some adjustments to.
How much will it help open things up to get to down low power play goals like that, get that on tape? And do teams, now they'll have to worry about that, does that help your power play a little bit?
It should. Anytime you can score and score different looks, obviously the traditional with us would be Thompson as a threat or Olofsson as a threat. So when you are, scoring other ways, obviously teams pre-scout you and they see that you have using other options effectively. So, we need to score goals down low. It's been available to us. Obviously, it will be available to us when you have a threat like Thompson or Olofsson shooters, even Jack Quinn. You're going to have more availability in other areas, and you need to take advantage of them. And it's something we haven't done well enough.
You look at the
Go ahead.
look at just even strength production. Casey Middlestat's statistics are comparable to a lot of the game's elite players. What about his game allows him to be in that company, you think?
A lot. Competitive guy, determined guy every single night. So, we've talked a lot about willingness to compete, and competitive guys are never not in it through 82 games. They don't take nights off. And Casey does not take a night off. He is intense every night. So he's looking for every inch of ice that he can exploit with a level of determination and a skill level that matches. And if guys around him get open and are available, he's usually pretty effective. So that's made him very consistent for us in that manner.
Pittsburgh went a month without a power play goal, and now they're at like 22% in the last 9 games. Probably a little bit of a matter of time with their talent, but just how, not difficult, but just how weird is it to see a team with that amount of talent go that long and now start to find it again?
Yeah, it's just indicative of pro sports, isn't it? It just teams and you guys get in their head, and it's the problem you have is that there's no time to step back. You can't get out of the fire and just breathe. It's in your face. You went 0 for 3, 24 hours later or 48 hours later you're playing again. There's no breathing room. So you get in that negative rhythm, and that's it's just the way our schedule is in this sport. So when you get in a funk, it can last games because you don't have any breathing room. It's just one to the next to the next. So I get it. You understand it. I think it was Tampa Bay a year or two ago was the same thing. It was 40 some power plays in a row, or just some crazy statistic about it. And it happens. And like I say, our jobs are to try to shorten that. That's what our jobs are. You're going to get in those funks. You just got to do your best, technically, tactically, anything you can think of to shorten them.
How much did you like the 5-on-5 game last night in terms of you got some power play chances? Other than the Boston game, you really haven't had a lot of chances. There have been a lot of one time in a game, and you got a bunch of power plays last night.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, are we, you certainly get more power plays when you work harder. When you're engaged in puck battles in your second effort, you're drawing penalties. You're drawing some, and I think, the effort we had and intent we had last night was probably a reason why we, had penalties. I would say we drew penalties by effort, and that's something that we should take account of and work for that to a greater level.
What did you like from your 3 new defensive pairs last night?
It's nice to have something different. I think we had righties, lefties last night. Eric Johnson back in the lineup was physical and a presence. That was nice. I liked it. I liked, sometimes I feel Sammy with Dahls kind of defers to Dahls. Sometimes we need him to rise a little bit more. Dahls is obviously a very dominating guy in a game, and I think sometimes you get into a funk in your rhythm and you just kind of slide into a role, and To me, Samuelson's too good to just kind of slide in a conservative role. We need him to step up, and that was a little bit of a challenging regard for him, and so I like the response.
Tuch and Greenway, I know they're both sick. How concerned are you for tomorrow?
Well, I was very concerned about noon yesterday morning, and I mentioned, they gutted it through a game last night, which was really important for us. Obviously, with the number of man games we've had missed, to go into that game last night and potentially miss those two guys would not have been fun. So they did one hell of a job for us, and the hope is they're getting better and stronger. But this stuff goes through teams throughout the league. You don't really know about it, and right now it's going through us a little bit. So we obviously just got to deal with it as best we can. It's a little bit of why I stayed away, obviously being contagious, because you don't want it to. It can disrupt and destroy teams. This time of year, so we try to do our best to make certain that doesn't happen.
Both your goalies are coming off very good games. Are you going to stay with the rotation, or are you going to go back with Devin, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, to me, a rotation makes sense. They're both obviously young guys, and I think where they're at in their careers, how do you put one ahead of another, and the margin of how they play is both good, and that fresher is better, and Opie's had some time to prepare. So the inclination would be to go that way and keep a rotation. But that said, the decision isn't final yet. But that's the thought process anyway.
I'll ask you the obvious question. Did you like Luke in his game against Columbus and the New York Rangers?
Oh, you know what, Paul? I can't even remember details too much. But what I like is the direction. That he's taking, and trust that because of it, he's getting better every night. So.